Good afternoon, Cardinal Nation. My name is Frank Kasch, and I'm a sophomore here at St. Michael. And I'm here with St. Michael pole vault coach, Coach Emily Killion. Coach Emily graduated from McGill-Toolen in 2013 and went on to pole vault at Troy University. She has been pole vaulting since she was in 8th grade and has now taken her skills from a younger age to being a coach. So, Coach, how has your first year of coaching been?
It was great. I think we had a great turnout. We started off with a few more vaulters than we ended, but we ended with 2 boys and 3 girls, all ranging from the ages of 8th grade all the way up to the juniors. And I think they all really performed really well. We had a great showing at state, and every single pole vaulter that competed at sectionals, which is like our region championship, scored points. So
Right.
There's not every event can say that they scored points for their team, and pole vault we all scored.
That's right. So, what makes pole vaulting different from any other sport?
Well, you're clearly one of my pole vaulters, but I told all of my pole vaulters they're kind of like the rock stars of track and field. It's a little bit different. It's an individual sport based off of a team performance. So you're scoring points for your team, but it's not anything kind of like football or anything like that, because if one athlete doesn't perform up to their standard, it doesn't necessarily affect the outcome of the other athlete, but it does affect the outcome of the team. So
Right.
I think that's what kind of makes it the most different, that you have a lot riding on it. And then also it's very similar to sports like diving or gymnastics, swimming, things like that, because all eyes are on you. So when you step up to that runway, you kind of feel that pressure, where maybe in other sports, not saying you could hide behind your teammates, but
Right,
you're
yeah.
in a cluster of everybody. Even with running, you're in a cluster of other runners.
That's true.
But with pole vaulting, you step on that runway and there's no one else out there but you.
Right.
So I think that's what makes it different.
Yeah, thank you. So, what was your high school career like?
My high school career was pretty, it was not necessarily the most standard, because I started in 8th grade. So I vaulted for 5 years. My second year pole vaulting, I became a national champion. So it kind of set the tone, which was a good thing and a bad thing, because I kind of had a red bullseye on my back for the rest of my high school career. But it definitely set the stage at a very high competitive level early for college.
Mm-hmm.
I liked my high school career. Coming from gymnastics, it was very kind of easy to just kind of roll into something like that. But I will say I kind of think I liked my college career a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you explain your recruitment process for going from high school to your college career?
Well, I think the best way to explain it will be how different it is from now. Because the kids that are being recruited today are so used to using all their socials, like your Instagram, your Facebook, YouTube, things like that.
Right.
Back in the early or mid-2000s, 2013, 12, that kind of stuff, we didn't have that. Now, Instagram did exist, but it wasn't existing for the sole purpose of recruiting, kind of like it is today. So my process actually kind of brought, I know we're on a podcast, but I brought a binder to show a lot of coaches would send you letters from all across the country. I have stuff from Harvard, from Yale. Goodness gracious, I was not going to go to those schools.
Right.
But just they would kind of say things like, we saw that you jumped X, Y, and Z. We're extremely interested in you. And it kind of put the ball in your court, but also know, like, hey, coaches are looking at me. This is a potential of me doing this in college.
Mm-hmm.
So my recruitment process was, it started off as that. And then there was this kind of like mile split. There was a website where you would upload things, kind of like an Instagram. And people could go on there and watch you. And you could buy a membership, but if you were good enough, they would ask you to be on that website just so they could say, like, hey, look, Emily got recruited by Troy because she was on our website. So it would kind of be almost like a trade-off.
Right. Now, do coaches still send letters, or is it more electronically?
To be honest, I don't even know, because I've been out of the world for a little of this side of things, a little bit. But I do know that coaches now contact more the high school coach more than they ever did probably back in the day.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was, you'd get all these letters from all these random schools, and then maybe a few serious ones would reach out to your coach. Now, because of the way socials are, the way just even like a phone directory at your school, they're more likely to reach directly to that coach if they're extremely interested in you.
Okay. So, did you ever think about going professional?
No. I will say, I do know a few professional pole vaulters. I know Mondo, we vaulted together, and he is the best in the world. So his career is really cool. I love watching him. I love, like, just kind of catching up with him every now and then. He was down at the beach, I think I told y'all a few weeks ago. But yeah, I was not in the cards for me. I wasn't bad, but I wasn't that good.
Right. So you said we have how many vaulters at St. Michael?
We have 5 total, 3 girls and 2 boys.
So what do you love most about coaching?
I honestly think I get more excited for y'all when you get a new height, get on a new pole, or just jump a prettier jump than I ever did for myself. But probably because I know now what it's supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. But also, my high school career, kind of going back to that question, I didn't have the most, I don't want to say lovey-dovey because that's not a good word, but just like the most like kind and accepting of the coaches. He was just kind of gruff. And so I want to make sure that y'all understand that no matter what, like you might not win the meet, but if you got on a new pole or you jumped a new height, like that's still a success. So I think that's probably the most fun about being a coach and just loving that side of things more than I did as an athlete.
Right. So now what's been the most difficult part about being a coach?
When you have some pole vaulters that are slightly head cases. So we go back to talking about how when you step on that runway, you're a single person. You can't hide behind anybody.
Right.
You know, it's just you and your pole. And so it is risky. It is daring. It is scary at times. And so to coach an athlete through fear is probably the hardest because it's not like I can just be like, hey, don't be scared. Because, I mean, I can say that all I want, but that's not necessarily coaching you through anything.
Or, hey, Franklin, just don't be a chicken.
Exactly, yeah. I can say that all I want until I turn blue in the face. But so I think that's the hardest part is navigating through that aspect of coaching to a positive outcome.
Right. Thank you. So what are your hopes for the summer and years to come for our program?
So this summer, I hope that all of my vaulters get some repetitions in. What I'm really looking forward to, which I think we really missed out on last season, I didn't start kind of working with y'all until, I want to say it was like November, December, January, like that kind of time frame. Really, pole vaulters are made in the summer, and they're made in the fall. And so I'm really excited to get into the weight room this summer and in the fall and start just kind of getting y'all conditioned for pole vaulting. The pole vaulters were in excellent shape, and I will always tell them that, but they were not in pole vaulting shape, partly because most of y'all didn't even know you were going to be doing this season. Right. So now that we know that we're doing this and that we're going to get to kind of grow on the foundation that we've already laid, which is a really good foundation, I think we're going to have an even more successful season next season.
Right. Can you explain the difference between like being in shape and then being in pole vault shape?
So being in shape means you can go in the weight room. Right now in St. Michael's weight room, you have like all those benchmarks and things like that. That's, good. They're really good athletes. They're in shape. Pole vaulting shape is you have to have pretty much all types of athletic ability. You need to have a little bit of flexibility. You need to have a lot of core strength. You need to be stronger than what you weigh. And I think for girls, that's a little bit harder. And then you also have to have a lot of muscular endurance. A lot of athletes come to you where they might be really strong, not a lot of muscular endurance. Really have a lot of endurance, but not very strong. Right. And I kind of think that's kind of what we got a mixture of just because of the sports that y'all were coming off of. Again, great athletes, they were in great shape, but pole vaulting shape just takes a totally different toll because y'all really had not done a core workout like we would be doing.
Oh, and yeah.
I know that y'all thought what I called it, the Cardinal circuit, were a little rough, and to be honest, those should have been easy, and so, but next season they will be, and so I'm not worried about it.
Right. So, what can you say to our younger viewers who are interested in being pole vaulters?
I will tell all of our younger viewers that come
or
out.
the parents that want their kids to pole vault.
Yeah, I would tell all of the viewers to come out, give it a shot. If you have any type of gymnastics background, I know you kind of did as well. I know kind of it's
2-3 months.
Harder for boys because not a lot of boys do gymnastics in this area at least. But a gymnastics background makes for the most perfect pole vaulter in my opinion. But just come out, give it a shot. You're not going to hurt yourself on the first try. And kind of what you, Eli, Addison, Anna, and Carolina learned is that if you give it your best shot, like, it actually can come to something that you did not even expect it to come to.
Right. So my last question is, how is faith implemented into your team?
We pray before, well, I'll be honest, we there were some meets where we missed praying just because we were rushing around, but we do try to pray before every practice and every meet. And then I have a vaulter, I'm just going to call you out, Franklin, who actually found a prayer that was almost tailored for pole vaulters, which as long as I pole vaulted, I did not know this existed. And so I really thought that was kind of cool to implement that into not only just my life, but the other lives of the vaulters. And of course, like, I'm encouraging y'all to do PCR and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So just encouraging my students to be just as involved in their faith as I try to be in mine.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. That's all I have for you today. So thank you so much to Coach Emily for coming out today. I really enjoyed it. My name is Frank Kasch, sophomore here at St. Michael, and you're watching the Wild Cardinal Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals.
And that's it.